The scream tore through hyperspace like a dying star's final breath. Ambassador Zethkar felt his 4 hearts skip as the emergency beacon pierced every communication array across the Galactic Council. What species could possibly warrant such terror in their final moments? The distress signal originated from the remote mining colony of Kepler 442c, where the peaceful Vranathi had established their newest settlement. These gentle, crystalline beings were known throughout the galaxy for their pacifist nature and remarkable ability to harmonize with any environment. They had never raised a weapon, never showed aggression, never even raised their melodic voices in anger. Yet their emergency transmission spoke of something so horrifying that it sent shockwaves through every civilized world. Unknown vessels approaching, the message crackled through the council chambers. They move like shadows between stars. We tried to communicate, but they only respond with violence. Our people are dying. Send help. Send anyone. Before the signal died in static. Within hours, the greatest armada in galactic history assembled. The proud Zephyrian Empire contributed their planet-crushing dreadnoughts. The technological masters of Nexus Prime deployed their reality-bending warships. Even the mysterious Void Walkers emerged from their dimensional hideouts, bringing weapons that could unravel space itself. Admiral Korath of the Zephyrians commanded the massive fleet as they jumped toward Kepler 442c. Today we face the unknown, Korath announced to his mixed-species crew. Whatever destroyed the Vranathi will learn that this galaxy protects its own. The journey through hyperspace felt eternal. When they finally arrived at the Kepler system, what greeted them defied every tactical manual ever written. The Vranathi colony was completely intact. Every building stood perfectly preserved, every crystal garden still glowing with bioluminescent beauty. But floating in orbit around the planet were ships unlike anything in their databases. These vessels were primitive by galactic standards, constructed from basic metals and powered by chemical rockets. They moved with clumsy grace, clearly struggling with the most elementary space maneuvers. The largest ship barely qualified as a frigate compared to their massive dreadnoughts. Yet something about them made every warrior in the fleet feel a chill that reached into their very souls. Scan results are impossible, reported Chief Science Officer Vex Thull, her tentacles trembling as she read the data. Those ships contain organic beings that shouldn't exist. Their biology is all wrong. The beings aboard those crude vessels were called humans. They had emerged from a backwater planet that most civilizations had dismissed as uninhabitable. No scales, no carapace, no natural weapons, just soft, pink flesh that should have made them the weakest species in the galaxy. But when the Vranathi distress call reached their primitive radio arrays, they had responded with something that terrified every advanced civilization present. They had come to help. "We received your emergency transmission," came a voice from the lead human vessel, speaking in perfect galactic standard despite their species never being part of the Council. "Are there survivors who need medical attention?" Admiral Karatha's massive frame shuddered. These humans had traveled across impossible distances with technology that shouldn't have carried them beyond their own solar system. They had somehow intercepted a quantum-encrypted distress signal and decoded it without any knowledge of galactic communication protocols. Most disturbing of all, they had arrived ready to fight an unknown enemy to save people they had never met. "The greatest weapon in the universe isn't technology," whispered Navigator Shellmoth, watching the human ships position themselves defensively around the colony. "It's the willingness to sacrifice everything for strangers." The Vranathi colonists emerged from their underground shelters, having hidden when the first ships arrived. They explained through grateful crystalline harmonics that raiders had attacked but fled when they detected the approaching human fleet. The mere presence of these primitive vessels had been enough to drive away pirates who had plagued the sector for decades. "How did you find us?" asked Elder Crystalline Morthak, her faceted body reflecting the starlight like a living prism. The human commander's response chilled every soul monitoring the transmission. "We learned long ago that when someone screams for help, you don't ask questions first. You just come running." As the massive galactic fleet began its withdrawal, every species realized they had witnessed something that would reshape their understanding of power itself. The humans, with their laughably primitive technology and fragile biology, possessed something that all their advanced weaponry could never replicate, the absolute certainty that no cry for help would go unanswered, no matter the cost. They call it humanity, Admiral Korath recorded in his final log entry. And it's the most terrifying force in the galaxy. The human ships departed as quietly as they had arrived, leaving behind a colony safe and a galaxy forever changed. Word spread through every civilized world that Earth's children had heard the distress call, and something primal in every advanced species whispered the same truth: if they'll fight for strangers, imagine what they'll do for family. From that day forward, no species in the galaxy ever ignored a human distress signal. They had learned that some forces in the universe were more dangerous than supernovas or black holes. They had learned to fear compassion backed by determination, kindness armed with courage, and the terrifying love of a species that would cross the void itself to answer a stranger's cry for help.